I'm laughing already. I'm laughing already because I know what I'm going to say. Welcome, bienvenidos. This is week 8 of Summer School for the Hero's Journey Masterclass. My name is Sasha Wallace. I am your green goddess, and I'm going to be your MC for these events. Why am I laughing? Because today is going to be a little bit different. I've got some things to say, and some people ain't going to like it, but do I give a fuck? No, not really. Why is today different? Because I'm pissed off. I'm really, really pissed off. I've been in Mexico now for 14 weeks. Yeah, it's fucking amazing, I know. Like a fugitive, running for my life, trying to protect my life from some low down sick bitches that would have it otherwise, that thought they could run me out of town for 5 years. The 5 years they tried while I was in my last house. Yeah, you managed to run me out of my house eventually, but only because I figured you all out. And I want you to know, I want to look at you as I say this. I want you all to know that I'm wide awake and I've been taking names. And yeah, I'm fed the fuck up now. Fed the fuck up. I have been put under so much stress and so much pressure like most people couldn't handle. And yet it's taken 14 weeks of my fugitive life to finally get really fed up. And before you all start like fist bumping and clinking glasses, thinking that you've achieved your aims, your goals, I want to just stop you there. Because what you've done or what you're doing has now pushed me over the edge. It's now pushed me so far that I've decided I'm going to start calling you out by name on social media, or the grand international media if you like. Baby, we're going to go there too. But you know, like I say, I'm taking names. So why don't we start with Roderick Whiteman Mountain? I'm going to say a little piece right now, and I'm just warning you now, just for your pleasure and your entertainment. There will be more. I will follow this video up with more of what I'm about to say. But this beautiful jade tablet number 8 is the real reason we're here, and we won't forget about that. But I felt like I've been guided to by my angels, my ancestors, my grandparents specifically, to put out this message too. And to your spawn as well. And I'm just going to throw this out with people's inheritance, fuck around with lasting power of attorney over old, decrepit people that he could manipulate, and then take all their money and take all the legacy that was intended for their beautiful family line, their bloodline. And why I say you're so stupid, Roderick, is because you clearly did not realize that all wills, all lasting will lasting will and testament is public record after probate. You clearly didn't bank on that, did you? You banked on everything else, but you didn't bank on that. You didn't figure out or plan ahead. If you had thought about the consequences of taking on a family like mine, then you might have actually paused for a moment to think about what you were doing, but actually you didn't. And so the evidence is now beautifully part of the public record and can be downloaded from the National Archives in London for £1.50 a pop. And I have mounting evidence now that I have shared with my legal team of the destruction that you've brought to your own family and the destruction that you've attempted to bring into mine. What a bozo. What a fucking bozo. And the fact that you would incriminate your own children into this twisted twilight zone is beyond me. But I'm listening and learning from my own family now, and I never thought it was possible what could be done to one's own kin. I'm not like that. I'm just not made of the same stuff that you are. And just the very inkling that you thought you were more intelligent and more cunning, that you could take down the legacy of a man like my grandfather, Mr. Muir Vane Scarrett Hunter QC, and his beautiful late wife, Dorothea Easton Hunter, who crucify you in terms of intelligence and faith and integrity. No, you thought you could just run us all amok. Well, you didn't bank on me, did you, bitch? And I'm coming for you. And I'm going to add this to the, and before I move on, Sam and Alex, if you did not get that money into your bank accounts, as I've described, then you should ask your dad to see the will. And if you haven't seen the will, or he won't show it to you because he likes holding back on the paperwork, just download it for fuck's sake. It's £1.50. I'm sure you've got that in the bank. So there may be a little family quarrel that ensues. But since you decided that wasn't enough money, and you would try and take down my family too. I mean, you obviously tried to take down my family first, before your Auntie Muriel. We're going to show you just how wrong you can be. And Vina Davison, Jordan River, I'm coming for you too, bitches. Let me say it again. I'm coming for you. I have so much evidence on you too. My legal team are having a field day. And the thing that winds me up most, I suppose, about Roderick is that he, I decided on this mission, on this investigation, that I would do this the right way. I would do this by the book. And so I have I guess subpoenaed isn't the right word, but I have made requests via the legal process, via the actual legal firm that managed my grandpa's estate which incorporates my grandmother's estate too, that in Spain and in England. And I've now waited patiently for 7 months for you to respond formally to those requests required by the lawyers. As you have decided to try and sneak away and not follow the protocol, not follow process or go by the book, then we thought, hey, there are other ways we can do this. And let's look at the media. You know, the media love to put people on a pedestal and then hang them out to dry. Hung, drawn and quartered by the press. If we can't get you by the formal legal means, which we've now tried and tested and they've been ignored by your punk ass, then we'll just take it to another level. Okay, darling? You know, since you're so concerned about your image, you're so concerned about your image being tainted, well, I'm afraid that the media doesn't care about that. And we're going to put this information out, and there's nothing you can do to stop me, or stop us, as I should say, because boy, have I got some goons behind me. Who have you got? I'll just let that hang there. So, if you haven't heard your name yet, just take a seat, baby, because we'll fucking get to you. It will probably be in the next video, but we won't forget about you. Oh, no. We can't wait to shed light on what you've done to the chosen. Ooh, is there anything else I wanted to say, Spirit, before we get into the main event? Yeah, there is. Concerning your great Auntie Muriel, young ones, do you know or even care why both your aunties, Tess and Sarah, were cut out of that will? And you were supplanted? Another thinker that my legal team have many questions about. And as for your legal team, they are scared shitless of this, implicated as they are. And as for my own family, but my immediate family, because you're not really my family. You are these random distance from our bloodline that just decided to honey trap my grandfather. There has been murder, fraud, rape, child paedophilia, child pornography, sex trafficking. And all of this money now links to that. So we call it blood money now. And that's a pretty heavy cloak to wear. And if you didn't realize it, well then you realize it now. That I ain't playing. Perhaps you never thought that this day would come. But hey, we're here. You can't touch me. You can't stop me. You can't silence me. But we're going to do that to you. And you're going to feel so ratchet Because you've spent your entire lives trying to bring me down, trying to kill me. And you're, sorry, I thought I heard a broke bitch say something. Do you also not realise that the FBI are watching you and have been watching you for a while? The sacrifice I made to play the long game, which was always intended. I never quite knew where it would take me, but I did know that it would allow your arrogance and ridiculous belief in yourselves that you'd never be caught to now allow the longest string of recorded evidence to be played out on camera in front of the feds, and all they need is a little bit of a push in the right direction. So guys in the FBI, my friends who have been protecting me up to this point, I say thank you. And I say you're welcome. Et voila. Here's a little bit more of the puzzle. Because this isn't even about me anymore. I'm safe. I'm fine. My destiny is secured. It always was. But I have allowed, and even my ancestors have allowed me to be used as bait to capture your asses. And now we have everything we need. Because what's more at risk now is not me, not what you've done to me in your nasty little ways. No, it's about those young people and those vulnerable people that are still at risk. They're at risk right now. Even some locked in a basement somewhere, ready to be trafficked. The nasty little paedophile rings that you've been running for ever so long are about to come to an end. And it's those ones that I'm protecting with this message. You're so sick. You're so very sick in the mind. And I'd like to say you're sick in your soul, but I don't believe you have one. And that's the T. And please don't try and blame your parents for the sicko that you've become. That's such a like, you know, deflection from the truth. You've chosen this path. Every single day that you woke up, you've chosen this path intentionally, psychotically. Intended harm and bewilderness on good people for money. That's the most hilarious thing out of all of this. Yeah, I'm sure there is some thrill seeking that you get from this, but you did it for money? Man, that's like the most base element that doesn't even really exist. It's a fantasy. And yeah, you might have gotten away with this in your mind for a while, but it was all part of the grand plan, the master plan, that you would come across me and try to fuck me over. And I was always going to be the one to stop you. So, even though you think that your mother escaped, she didn't live a nice life. And you're not going to live a nice life when it comes to prison. because that's where you're going to go. That's where you're going to stay. And I'm afraid I won't be your pen pal. I won't send you any more sweet, loving messages of family loyalty. But I might well share your story in the documentary and the films and all the news, international news reports that will follow, because babies. You created a masterpiece, really, and you created a monster when you tried to fuck with me. So as I say, if you haven't heard your name yet, don't worry. Take a fucking seat. Because I'm coming to you. And I'm coming for you. And you all know who I'm talking about. Even if you think I don't know who you are, I do. And so, my apologies to anyone that was truly just here for the summer school. I apologise for this interruption to the broadcast, but it was necessary because you're fucking with me. And you fuck with me, you fuck with my whole family. And you fuck with my family, you fuck with me. And I ain't about to lay down and take it. I'm just not going to lay back and think of England, baby. I'm going to salsa dance you down into fucking hell. Where you belong, where you came from, and where you're going back to. Okay? Just in case anyone wasn't clear on who I am and who you are to me. I'm your karma, baby. And I was born ready for this. Okay. I think we've said quite enough for today. Okay. Now, let's just check we're still rolling. Oh, we sure are. Guys and girls, beautiful ones, the ones on the real journey, welcome to outer space. Welcome to the 8th Jade Tablet. This is such a special moment for me. This is such a special part of this journey for me. I'm going to take you through the design that I created for a space station, a legitimate space station that will actually fly and perform as I say it will. My ancestors have told me so. This is the R.O.S.S.I Bloom MoonRaker. R.O.S.S.I stands for Reusable Orbital Space Station System Intelligence. Bloom takes us back to my early creations, where I wanted to help people understand the power of their chakras, the power of harnessing that energy, bringing it into balance so that they could experience the joy and beauty that the universe has to offer. And yeah, MoonRaker, I ripped it off of James Bond. Drax won't mind. We've got creatures and enemies out here far worse than Drax. And I thought Drax was one of the real baddies of the James Bond world. I really did, especially with those two dogs that like maul that girl in the forest. No. Because at least Drax did what he did in the daylight. At least he was like open and honest about what he tried to do to people. Not doing it in the dark, behind black magic, behind spell work, drugging people to have sex with them. Or, you know, not just have sex with them, drugging children so that you can rape them. drugging vulnerable, innocent people so that you can rape them and leave your nasty, toxic, sexual succubus, incubus energies on them, which I'm cleared from, by the way, just so you know. Thanks, Great Spirit. I don't want to go back into that energy again. I can feel it now, like swirling. I know you're watching. And that's kind of why I decided to use my summer school to share these messages, because I know you're watching, because all of this is what you've been trying to stop. Whatever knowledge you had about me once upon a time, whatever prophecies that you ever came across about me, here we are. It's 2022 and I am living in my North Node. I'm dancing in my North Node. And you were always going to be collateral damage. But it was the lessons that you had to learn this lifetime. You were cockroaches in your last life and you decided to be cockroaches in this life. You had the choice to be otherwise, but you chose this path. So you get the treats that come along on this path, okay? Tunes coming in, all right? Okay, let me light my smoke. We are live, coming to you from Mexico. I am in Quintana Roo, but in a secret, safe place where you can't touch me, you can't find me. And nothing's going to stop me bringing this out. Nothing's going to stop me from sharing the gifts that I have to give. So, let's start with Tia and Matt, the planet that was destroyed, that became the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. She is a main feature of all of my research, all of my studies, and I am bringing her back out into the light. We have Loading Bay, Loading Bay 1, Tia, connected to asteroid belt 1. We have Loading Bay 2 for Matt, or Matt. You can say it like Matt, like a boy's name. You can say Ma'at, just like the Ma and the Da. But we are showing Loading Bay 1, Asteroid Belt 1, as the place where our space tourists will arrive. Asteroid Belt 2, coming in from Loading Bay 2, Mart, is where the team, the space station crew, will have their own loading bay. There is a docking platform for 2 orbital cruisers. You can see one of them here. Number 1 is Alchemia, from the Arabic for alchemy. It's a med-evac, so a medical evacuation unit. And we have number 2, Endeavour, and Endeavour is currently out on a mission. So if you're a tourist, a space tourist, I don't really like that term. I'm thinking of something better, but it hasn't come to me quite yet. But space tourist sounds a bit weak at this point. It doesn't encompass what people who come here are. This is far more than tourism. This is a new world, a new life, a new beginning for people of a higher vibration, a higher consciousness. And because this is based upon my bloom design, and I'm just going to check the camera again. I got an inkling. Oh, okay, we're okay. Because we are returning to the beginning of bloom, my physical venture, physical space that I was going to build down on this planet, I've realized that actually we can take this intergalactic and it would work so well as a space station. So we'll start from the beginning, from the middle, just like we've done in all the other J tablets and research. The chakras are associated with a planet in our solar system. So of course we start at Pluto, the Earth star. It is where you come in as a space tourist. Probably going to change that name, but at the moment it's what I'm going to go with. And possibly the journey into space was quite difficult for your little human being body. So you have a grounding and meditation pod that you can come into when you first arrive. And this is where you will be able to enter the earthing platform of 7.83 hertz. It's a chill out zone, good for mindfulness therapy, and it's not required. Some of you may find your space legs easier than others. I feel like I'm developing a lisp. I've never had a lisp, but hey. Mercury is still in retrograde until the 7th, I think. 7th of October. Okay, Spirit's asking me to say this too. I know that there is a grand plan to try and do something to me around Halloween, like you did last year, which didn't work. You're so stupid that you think you can try it again. And I've warned you all before. Why? Out of the kindness of my heart. Because I can see what's going to happen. So I'm giving you another warning. Don't attempt it. Because you will seal your fate even more than it is sealed already. You know, some of y'all just need to sit the fuck down and shut up. You have nothing to offer. You are not able to conceive of things like this, let alone transmute it onto a physical medium that can be understood by others. Built by others. This is a fully working space station, and I have actually submitted my plans and additional plans that sit behind this from an engineering point of view. I have actually submitted these plans as a pitch to Elon Musk of SpaceX, and variety of emails I've sent to him have not been responded to, and that's because I also know that these silly bitches have been hacking my phone, my emails, and basically like stealing my post, stealing my mail, which is a federal offence in itself, but it's also keeping really great engineers from working together. And so Elon Musk, if you do ever see this again, I want you to know that I gave you first refusal. When you didn't come back to me, I spoke to NASA and I spoke to the European Space Agency, because it was important for me to get these ideas out. Like, I will still honour your first refusal if you get back to me, but because my emails have been hacked, it's possible that you never even got my emails, and there's not much I can do about that, but extend the offer one more time and say that you'd still be my first choice because of your ethos and your way of doing things, not just because of your bank balance, but actually because of the way you're moving in the world, and I resonate with that, and I'd like to work with you. But as I say, you know, people think they can hack my emails and ruin my life in that way, and I think they be locked on, man. Okay, anyway, so you come in, if you like, you can join the grounding and meditation pod straight away, ruled by Pluto Earth star. if you're ready, you can go straight to the Roots Cafe pod, which is ruled by Mars. And the pathway, the gangway, the gangplank with Mars says the 5 + 7 senses. Now in my being, it would make more sense to say the 6 + 6 senses, because I recognize that we actually all have 6 senses on this earthly plane, but most people don't know that. So I'm trying to communicate it in a way that you can all understand. So we all recognize the 5 senses. Well, actually there is a 6th one, and it is your third eye. It is your 6th sense. Third eye, 6th sense, whichever. Each one of the 6 senses down here on Earth are illuminated and enlightened by a brother or sister or cousin sense in the higher realms, and these are all called clair gifts. So you have 6 on this plane and you have 6 in the higher plane, and they each relate to each other. So as an example, clairvoyance is seeing, clairaudience or clairaudient is hearing, clairsentience is feeling, and so on and so forth. The root chakra takes us onto the sacral chakra. These are the sleep pods and the restrooms, probably where you'll want to go and relax pretty soon after your journey. And this is lovely and luxury and welcoming for you, with these nice little windows looking out into space. And this is governed by the moon and the sacral chakra. Coming off the sleep pods and restrooms is our sleep therapy unit, where dreams and emotions are actually analysed and harnessed to help you understand your journey more so. And there's a lot of amazing stuff that happens when we go to sleep, happens when we're at rest in meditation, that can actually be used to further our power and increase our superhero gifts, which we all have, okay? Now, SiO2, if you do not know that chemical name, this is a chemical name for crystals. This is also a crystal walkway. All of this is crystal. These beds have crystal underlay. And so you get that extra crystal power when you sit on the meditation floor, when you go to sleep. And this can also be tracked and monitored by the sleep therapy engineers. Moving on from the sacral, we come to the solar plexus firepower, willpower of the ops room, ruled by Jupiter. We have coaching and strategy workspaces, and this is the main area of the bridge and the ops room. This is a movable flying space station. It can actually move around on its own velocity, just like the International Space Station can, in low Earth orbit, also known as LEO. And we have 2 floodlights coming off the ops room, coming off the bridge, one which looks forward, one which looks backwards, or known as aft. If you are on a boat, you have forward and you have aft. The aft floodlight is called Chand. Chand comes from Hindi, from Indian, meaning moonlight, or the light that comes from the moon. And beacon is a word from English that we use in terms of lighthouses, beacons that show the light or show the way. And both of these floodlights actually cross over, so that there is perfect view of the whole space station from beacon, perfect view of everything outside of the space station from Chand, and they cross over in synchronicity so that nothing is missed. From the solar plexus, we move to the heart chakra. the microgravity greenhouse pods. This is connected by airway, comes down from H2O. The R.O.S.I pod, also referenced as Saturn, the throat chakra, is powering and watering the microgravity greenhouse pods, where we have Happy, the god of the Nile, also known as the Hydroponic Accelerator Propagation Island, HAPI. It is within this space that we will be growing fruits, vegetables and herb gardens. We will be doing ecotherapy gardening, playing with plant medicine, not ayahuasca, as many people might associate with the words plant medicine, but actually medicine from plants, which we're growing in the apothecary using essential oils. So the plants, the plants grown through ecotherapy gardening create food therapy for us, and the crystal power plant enables these plants to be grown in actual greater speed and greater number and greater volume than actually they can be grown on Earth, and that is a trip. So it represents the heart and Venus, unity and sustainability, and within this area we have Uranus, the bioelectromagnetic field generator. So we're actually creating a force field of protection for the body and our security upon the space station, which creates a force field around the space station. It may even work as a cloaking device depending on my engineering plans. Uranus is the knowledge chakra. It is the knowledge planet. And so the space medicine R&D wing fits beautifully here, connects with the essential oils, which I have already shared with NASA and the ESA, the European Space Agency, about the amazing productivity that we can gain for our astronauts and also our ground crews using essential oils and aromatherapy that Western medicine has just missed the point about. So if we need to take it out into outer space for people to understand, then so be it. I'm probably sweating like a Jew here, but hey, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jewess, a Jew princess. And yeah, okay, let's say it. Who was the biggest persecutor of the Jews? After the Bible, yeah, it was the Nazis. And I know who you are, okay? We will get our redemption and we will have our justice. Let's go in to gather. Let's gather in front of the cinema suite and the classroom pod, because the Neptune Soul Star is bringing forward the agenda for the Hero's Journey Masterclass, where you will learn about self-discovery and symbolism. Gather, know, ledge. The ledge, the know, the gather. Gather knowledge. Everything is symbolism. You can know via Uranus. You can stand on the ledge and look at the beauteous green nature that we will create. You can even stand on the observation deck and look out via beacon and chand at what has been hidden from you by NASA. And a little quick extra piece of bit of kudos, is that NASA has lots of meanings that you might not know. And actually in Greek it means to deceive, to beguile, to bring down the veil and to trick. And in Hebrew, the word NASA actually has a connotation with Satan, and it also means to carry away or to lift away, lift off. So it could be related to space flight, the lift off of a rocket from Earth into outer space, or from another planet to our solar system, our solar system, or to another galaxy. But it could also represent that of lifting off the truth or carrying away the truth in place of something else. So if any of you are still in the dark about who NASA really are, I'll tell you this, they're hiding a lot of secrets. And I'm going to check my doodah. We're all good. All right, where are we? We are Neptune Soul Star. We've taken a little bit of a detour, but that's okay. Let's take it to the crown of Mercury. The Soul Food Terrace comes off the Roots Cafe pod, leading us into the Milky Way Museum. There are beautiful open windows looking out into outer space where you can see the stars, you can see other galaxies. Nay, you may even see aliens waving to you from their UFOs as they go past. This gangplank leads us to Hatshepsut and Thutmose II library pod, a derivative of the Alexandria Palace, the Alexandria Library that was burned down by the Romans, just as the Phoenician Library was burned down by the Romans in order to prevent us from learning the secrets that had been so lovingly handed down from our ancestors, our intergalactic ancestors, for us to follow. But the cabal, the elite, maybe some would call them the Illuminati. I think that word has been stretched and changed over time. But whoever the big corporations are that don't want you to know how special you are and that you have superpower gifts and that you can heal your own body and you can actually go into space as an astronaut. You don't need all of this training. We just need to be able to get out of the blue dome, which was also a veil brought down and often called Mayar or Mayat. So the library, we have many artifacts, many books, many scriptures, many scrolls, even those that have been hidden by the Vatican and the Vatican archives for so long. We have them, and beautiful artifacts too, beautiful art, sculptures, and even living, moving art that you might not be able to visualize in your mind. But if you go and watch a film like Pixels, beautiful film with Adam Sandler and Kevin James, you may actually realize the kind of bending of physics that we're playing with here. And it's all real, baby. Everything you see in movies, everything you see in sci-fi comes about because it comes from a real place. We cannot imagine that which is not already in existence. So called the Akashic Records Library, from where all knowledge is stored, secured and returned. Probably one of my favourite places on the space station is the Sun Third Eye Globe, which is our sound studio for all our musicians and our tarot circle for all our tarot readers, oracles, diviners, starseeds, light workers and earth angels to purvey their wares and show their gifts out to the world. And obviously this is broadcast back to Earth and whatever other planet might be interested. in it. I'm having a lot of fun here, actually. And I was saying to myself earlier, because I knew I was coming into this with quite a lot of ire and anger, because yeah, you make me angry. You can induce that in me, but you haven't worn me down. You haven't made me sad. You haven't made me scared. You haven't made me run for the English hills. What you made me do was leave your sick, broke asses behind and come to Mexico, where I have channeled so many times that this is just like Crocodile Dundee for me. Like, yeah, you know, maybe we were on a semi-even playing field in England where you thought you could get me locked up, put in a mental institution, thought you could kill me. And when that failed, you tried to get me locked up in an institution, and then you tried to ruin my home. You killed my children, you killed my animals, you know, all of this stuff that you've tried to do. It just can't be achieved because I actually have real gifts. I don't need to use magic. I don't need to use spell work. I don't need to use black arts or the occult magic to get people to sleep with me. I've never done a love spell on anyone. I've never done any kind of negative spell on anybody because I don't need to. My aura and my energy is what attracts people to me. And when people fall in love with me, it's real. There's no spell work. However, some of the broke fuckers that are watching this right now, they can only get someone to fuck them through spell work. And that is the most tragic thing. Like, and they get them to marry them, give away all their money, take away their gifts, and aloha. And so, you know, you're trying to take down someone that naturally has these gifts. I naturally receive this information. You have to use all this extra shit to get where you are in life, and look where it's got you. Nowhere, because you're nobodies. You are nobody. Nothing good will ever come to you because you don't wish anything good on other people. And that's sad. It's really sad. It's tragic. We don't have much longer on this to go. But here we are at Saturn. Karma, baby! Saturn throat chakra, leading off the Mars pod, Hydro-Spa pod. This is a beautiful area connecting in with the microgravity greenhouse pods, because in the same way that we can use water to grow these beautiful fruits, vegetables and herbs and create the plant medicine through essential oils and distilling that essence through aromatherapy, we also have another way of supporting the human body in space, and that is through water and sound therapy. We have a peak physiotherapy fitness suite and spa where hydro resistance is used as a form of exercise, as well as sauna, steam and massage to engulf the body in the power of water healing. And there's a massive connection between water and sound. So you'll find speakers and music in all the showers, in the in the peak physiotherapy fitness suite, as well as in the sleep pods and restrooms, and also the public lavatorios that you see here. We have the feminine, the masculine, and everyone in between has their own little restroom, bathroom, baño area. Excuse me. So the Hydro-Spa pod, we will also be sharing with you pH 8 water fountains where you can fill up your ever ready thermos flask, which is a free gift when you arrive on the space station. And the beauty of this magic is that this is yours to keep when you arrive. It acts as a memento and a souvenir. Sorry for the noise in the background. Sorry for my sweatiness, but hey, you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs, okay? This beautiful, amazing thermos flask, which will be yours as a gift when you arrive, is for filling up at will, at your pleasure, as much as you want from the pH 8 water fountains. It's an ever-ready thermos flask. It will be available to you in return for your token when you go to the R.O.S.S Cafe Pod. What's beautiful about this design, this engineering, is that it's completely effective regardless of the climate or the temperature you're in. It will keep cold drinks cold for 14 hours and it will keep hot drinks hot for 10 hours. It comes with a little cup so that you can sup as you want, and it also comes with a spoon. And around the space station you will find machines that offer tea, hot chocolate, lattes, coffees and soups. You can fill up your, as well as obviously water and other fruit juices, you can fill up. And if you're having soup, you can use the spoon, a stainless steel spoon, to eat your soup. Everything on this space station is reusable, recyclable, and I don't really need to go into it, but all of the waste products are also filtered and treated so that they can be reused in other parts of the space station. We won't actually be giving people retreated urine to drink. We actually have some better engineering now that we want you to be availed of. Is there anything I've missed, Spirit? I don't think so. I don't think so. Like I say, this is a real working blueprint for a space station that I am going to build, and I have already offered it to Elon Musk of SpaceX and Tesla for him to review the engineering suggestions that I have supplanted or supplied in addition. I'm not going to share them here because some of my engineering ideas are so fucking boom that actually I would like them to go to the highest bidder. But it is to do with hydraulics and engineering in space and how we can do that from an ecologic and environmental perspective. So if you are an engineer, if you are a designer of these kinds of machinery and you want to talk about it in more detail, please do send me an email at theheroesjourneymc@gmail.com. And if you are so kind and so willing, or actually want to just support me as an individual because of what I'm going through in order to try and bring this knowledge out into the world for humanity, then please do think long and hard about giving me a donation. My donation page is paypal.me/Bloom Healing. And Bloom Healing is all I'm trying to do is show you the power of plant power, crystal power, water power, fire power, air power, earth power, and ether power. It's all at your fingertips down here on Earth, but it seems like it feels to me like, you know, I don't really want to be down here anymore with you bitches, because you're ruining this planet. You're ruining the beautiful souls that are on this planet. So I'm offering a new suggestion, a new solution, a new option of taking our world, our healing out into another area of space beyond the ionosphere, into the low Earth orbit known as Leo, as also a stop station or a intermediary stopping point for aircraft that are traveling to other planets such as Mars or the Moon in the current space exploration missions that are happening, of which Elon Musk is a big player, hence why he gets first refusal. But if I don't hear from him, this is an open option that I will happily share my ideas with if indeed the motivation is there. Certainly is from me, and I've been your green goddess. I think this is fucking awesome, and I'm so delighted that I got to share it with you, and also got to share with you some of the bullshit that I'm dealing with, that I just had to get off my chest, get out of my energy field and be done with it. It is no longer affecting me, but believe me, you have pushed the button now, and you've pushed the button to the point where my goodness, my goodwill, my compassion, my kindness has now been stretched to the point where I don't give a shit. And if you think you're going to hide from me by not answering the official lawyer's requests to my questions, then we have other ways to make you talk, okay? We have ways of making you talk. And I see you. I've seen you for so long, but we've just been biding our time, playing the long game. And boys and girls, you have just, wow, you've led us a merry dance, and everything is logged electronically. So I didn't like being used as bait. Feds, I don't like how long you've used me as bait, but I understand. And it's time to bring it to a close now, because this little one has had enough. And I think these weirdos have had enough time playing their games, and it's time to show them who's boss. And in this scenario, in this course, in this summer school, I'm the fucking boss. I'm the MC. Yo soy maestra. I've been your green goddess. I've been a little bit of a fiery goddess for you today, but it's all part of my makeup. It's all part of my bloodline and my DNA, and everything you do is awakening my gifts. So every time you try and hit me with some kind of new spell, new spell work, new black magic, new jiggery pokery, all it's done is made me stronger. Made me stronger in my gifts, made me more aware of your fuckery, given me more evidence, legal standing evidence that will be very much accepted in court. And my grandpa's saying, yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. You thought you could take on the granddaughter of one of the greatest legal minds this country has ever known. He is still the leading voice on insolvency, bankruptcy, even after his death 15 years ago. His books are still used by students all the way around the world. You thought you could take on his progeny? It's just hilarious. But I felt it was time you knew. I felt it was time to bring you out into the light. And Wake up, babies. It's morning. Buenos días. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Te amo. Mwah.